All right, so welcome everyone, and those of you just popping on here, welcome, and let us begin. I'm going to move on back. So you have your yoga belt. You'll need a belt and a couple blocks if you have those, and I'll always give you modifications if those props are not available. So take your nice comfortable seat, however that is for you. It might be crisscross legged, it might be sitting back on your heels, or sitting with your legs extended. And then let the eyes close. Begin to drop in to yourself. You might bring to mind the image of a drop of water falling down into a pool of water, perhaps a little stream or a lake. And you see the drop of water just drop on down and the little ripples move out. You might notice that image when you exhale. So inhale, just focus on the feeling of the breath coming in. And as you exhale, just see a drop of water releasing, creating a subtle ripple, letting a sense of calm start to ripple out into your body with each exhale. Feel your head aligned. Maybe move it back slightly so it's right between your shoulders. And then you might need to just gently move your shoulders back a little so it feels like your shoulders are right over your pelvis. Might notice how that opens, increases your breath capacity. My intention for us this evening with this class is to help you access the joy that resides in you always, that is your birthright. You may or may not be feeling the joy right now. For some people, this time of year is extremely challenging. But please know that the joy still resides in you. It just gets tucked away in a closet or the basement of your house, your body. But it is our birthright to be able to, we have the capacity to hold a lot of joy. There's a word in Sanskrit, Satchitananda, Satchitananda. And the Sat means truth, and Chit means knowing, and Ananda means bliss. So there's a deep knowing, a deep truth that you, at your deepest core, are meant to feel blissful and joyful. Not 100% of the time, but just know that it never goes away. It's always there. Please join the hands together in front of your heart center. And let the head bow, honoring this time. May you be open and receptive to perhaps finding a spark of joy if you're not feeling that lately. Being open to it, reigniting. And if you are feeling it, may it only amplify. Celebrating so much. This has been a long year for us all. And really maybe just even celebrating the fact that our community is still holding together. And then lifting your head, let your hands release and your eyes come open. So let's begin in a reclined position on our back and grab your belt or your towel, whatever you're going to use. And you certainly can use your hands as well. I'll give you those options. So starting on the back, and if you are using the belt, use your loop and place the loop on the ball of the right foot, and then just hold inside that loop and lie on your back. If you don't have a belt, just interlace your hands on the back of your right thigh. So you choose. Holding here,
Take a moment to enthuse your feet, both of your feet. Spread your toes. And as you gently pull down with the belt, if you don't have the belt, just pull your toes down. Reach up through your heel. Then keep your right hand in the belt, your palm facing you, and put the left hand on your low belly. Push your belly out, so feel it expanded like a Buddha belly, and then engage or sweetly draw the abdomen in so you feel a firmness. Keeping that firmness, open the leg out slowly and stop when your right elbow touches the floor, and then hold your leg there. You'll probably be pretty high yet still. So the right elbow is pressed into the floor, you're holding the leg, and you have a nice awakening or awakened action in your abdomen. Receive a full breath in, release it out. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. Transfer the belt to your left hand. Now we're only going 3/4 the way over, so not to a full twist. Just roll to where you feel that the legs cross the body for sure, but you're not fully on the left side of your hip. And then just flex your right foot, pull the toes back. We're just easing ourselves in here. And then just stay connected to the breath. Coming back to center. Hold onto the belt. Bend your right knee and bend it over to the right side of your body, like a half happy baby position here, or a deep lunge, you might call it here. And then like a slingshot, push the foot forward, pull yourself on up, come up to seated position. And then when you're here, put the belt around the balls of both feet. Now if you don't have a belt, just flex your feet and press your legs down. And then lengthen up through your spine. And it might just be a tiny bit forward here. Bend forward until you feel both hamstrings fully online. Feel some action down through the backs of your legs, maybe down into your calves as well. So instead of rounding down, we're gonna keep our spine lifted and lengthen out through your chest. Don't forget the ever important breath. One more deep breath here, pressing the back of your legs down, lengthening through your spine. And then as you come up, just put the belt on your left foot and we'll come on down and recreate all of that on the second side. So hold the belt with your left hand or hold the back of your leg if there's no belt available. Put your right hand on your low belly and feel the activation there, so engage. And then start to slowly open the leg to the left. Pause when your left elbow touches the floor, so it's a stopper. Or your foot touches the wall in my case. Keep lengthening your right leg. And then just pause in your breath and trust this process of yoga practice. We always, for the most part, feel better at the end of this class. We get to tap into our innate qualities, one of them being a deep sense of ananda, of joy. Bring the leg back to center. And then switch the belt to your right hand, please. And then just slowly explore, coming 3/4 of the way over. You're maybe starting to roll a little bit on your right hip, but you're not fully on your right side. Flare the toes on your left foot and drop your right hip downward, away from your right ribs. Deep breath in, keep oxygenating the muscles, and keep the nervous system calmer so it's not going into that protection mode. Good, come back to center, and now bend the leg off to the left side of the body and lengthen the right leg longer. And bring it back to center, and then push and come all the way up. Once again, put both feet in the belt,
lengthen forward. Just gonna double check that my earpods are connected because this morning they weren't. And, oh, they are. Okay, good. That is good. So good. Just making sure. All right, so you're leaning forward, lengthening up through your spine. I'm coming back here with you. And now lift up out of that. Bend both knees, just kind of wiggle your feet back a little bit. And then lift your feet up. Now push your legs strong into the belt, and at the same time pull back strong with your arms. So you're pushing your feet forward and you're pulling back with your arms. And then you can stay bent with your legs or explore straightening. The belt's really going to help you if you keep action equal. Legs pushing out, arms pushing back, spine lengthening up, engagement in your core in assisted boat pose. And now bend the legs. Good job. Release the feet to the ground and take the belt on off. We're going to make our way up to standing. So give yourself a little boost there. Come up to standing position. And then let's take the belt and start to open through. We spent a little time down here. Let's start to open through the upper back and neck and shoulders. So I want you to take the belt around behind you and slide it up your arms right above your elbows. Now, if you don't have a belt, you can do all of this with your fingers interlaced behind you. Okay, the belt's just adding a different sensation. Certainly can still get benefit by just interlacing your fingers. Okay, so from here, either interlace the hands and roll the shoulders back, or start to push out, widen out into the belt. Then bend your knees deeply, lay your chest on your thighs. So again, some of us might have the hands interlaced if you're not using a belt. And then press out into the belt if you have it. And begin to lean your torso to the left. So let your arms fall to the left, especially your bottom arm falls heavy. And start to look upward to your right. Breathing there. And now another part of this, if you want to go there, is straighten your right leg. So left leg stays bent. Your chest is laying over on your left thigh here. And the right leg is fully stretching. I like to move my wrists up here too. Sometimes just circle the wrists and find some interesting sensations there. Let's switch now. Bend your right knee. Actually bend both knees and let your arms fall off to the right. Looking up to the left. So if you let the bottom arm, the right arm, get really heavy, it can assist opening the left shoulder. And then see about straightening the left leg a little or all the way. Breathing, one more full breath here. Come back to center, both knees bent, and then let your head drop and just stretch the arms up and over and try to widen the arms out into the belt. Widen them on out. If you're interlacing your hands, push your knuckles up towards the ceiling. And then lifting up slowly. You're going to come forward like you're doing cobra. So extend your heart forward, come all the way up to standing, and then slide your belt on off. And then take the belt and use the tail of it. Let go of the loop, use the tail of it, and bring it behind your back. Again, if you're not using a belt, find a towel or maybe a t-shirt, just something to hold on here. It might give you a little more opening in your shoulders. Feet straight ahead. Shoulders roll up and back, and then just slide your throat back as well. Nice strong tone through the abdomen, and then start to bend forward in this wide-legged position. Connect to Ujjayi breath. Noticing where you might be holding extra tension, that tension that blocks us, leaves us feeling stiff and limited and blocks our joy as well. So breathe into those resistance points. So when you inhale, first of all, turn your palms to face each other and try to pull the belt apart. And then inhale, push your knuckles up towards the ceiling, and exhale the arms over the head, even if it's just visualizing that in your mind. You could slide your hands wider on the belt and find a little more freedom. And feel your head here now. Move it around a little. Shoulders are slid down towards your ears.
And from here, we're going to stay in a forward fold, please. Just bring the belt down, drop it on the floor off to the side there, and then walk your hands for a wide-legged down dog. Walk out, place your hands shoulder width apart, and start to press your pelvis way back and up. Now, you can stay with flat hands. I like to come up onto the tips of my fingers sometimes here and focus on lifting the armpits really high. And when you exhale, just let your chest start to release down little by little. Legs are strong. Try to lift and spread your toes even. And now walk your hands over to the right diagonal, just a step or so, right to the right. And let the head go down between the arms again. Then start to turn your right foot out a little and walk another step over with your hands and bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. And now looking at your right foot, turn it all the way out. Walk your hands back and come up, and here you are in Warrior Two. So holding in Virabhadrasana 2. Regular arms at first. Really plug into the back leg. We're still warming up. And then take your arms in front of you. Cross your elbows, or cross your arms and hold your elbows. And then lift the arms above your head if that's doable. Try to pull the elbows apart. Push the elbows up more so you feel your side bodies get longer, and then lunge deeper if it's available. From here, try to take the ribs back into your body a little bit. Keep that. Release the arms behind your back. Shoulders roll back. Keep your legs steady as you come forward out here over towards your right inner ankle. Feel the strength in your legs holding you. Something to be happy about, right? Like, I'm not falling over. And then release your arms gradually, gently, and start to walk back to the center place. So turn your right foot forward. And this time just to come to a little more passive position with your spine. Think of this as a standing child's pose. Let your head release, your spine release, just right here between your legs. As you breathe, put your attention in your back ribs. See if you can feel or encourage some movement of the breath into the back of your lungs. So maybe feeling the skin stretch on the back of your body as you intentionally inhale. And now lift your chest first and walk forward again. Come up onto the tips of your fingers. Push your thighs way back. Elongate your spine. Deep Ujjayi breath. And then take one step to the left with your hands. So you're just one little step here, legs are still straight. Push the pelvis back and up. And now walk your hands another step over and start to turn the left foot just slightly out, just to the diagonal. Bend into the left knee, holding here. Bringing some sweetness, some joy to your left adductor, inner thigh. Now turn your left foot completely out. So this left leg out, knee over the ankle, and come upright to Virabhadrasana 2 on this side. Just take time to align your body as you know to do here. It's great opening the hips in this position, but also cultivating some good strength. Then take your arms in front of you, cross and hold elbows, pull up here. And so press your elbows, the pointy parts, up towards the ceiling more. Feel a rise in your ribs, your torso, and then try to pull the arms apart. Lunge a little deeper. And then just make sure the ribs aren't darting out, jetting forward. So draw the ribs back in. And from here, we're going to take the hands behind us like we did on the first side, shoulders back, throat back, and then take a little dive on down. Deep breaths, steady legs. Release the hands, turn back center, feet turn center, and let's start to wiggle the feet in. We've been wide there for quite a while, so bring the feet on in to a deep lunge. Bend your knees and bring your forearms up on your thighs. So come to this position like a downhill skier. And then just pause here. I want you to straighten your right leg. So of course your arm's gonna come off of it. So straighten your right leg and then lengthen your spine forward. Grow long. Ooh, feels good. And then bend your right leg. Put your weight on it here. Straighten your left leg. So you feel your left hip push back and you extend long out of that. Just pause and soak up what you might be feeling there. And then bend both legs. Lift your chest now. Engage your abdomen. So we're going to draw back slightly and bring hands to heart center. Stay here, or the option is to lift your heels, balancing in a lifted chair pose. You might bend a little deeper. You might stay right where you're at. See if you can take your shoulders back though a little bit. Heels lift a little higher perhaps. Slowly straighten your legs. Reach your arms towards the ceiling. And bring the hands together back to your heart center. And then let the heels come down to the ground. Move your feet a little bit closer together. And like you're standing on a tightrope, put the left foot in front of the right. Okay, so for some of us that might throw us off balance a little bit, but just see where you're at. Be near a wall if you need to. So left in front of right, and then bend both knees like you are on the tightrope. Like, oh yeah. You might look down and just see, yep, one foot is right in front of the other. Then keeping that, ribs go back. Do a little baby cat pose here. Let your arms come out for counterbalance, and then lift the back leg up. Just lift it, keep it bent behind you. Your front knee is bent. You got it. You're still on that tightrope. You're going to bring the right leg forward. Place it on the ground right smack dab in front of the left. Like toes meet heel, heel meets toe. Then bend the right leg and start to lean forward. Ribs come into the body. Nice bend in the standing knee, bend in the back knee. And you're looking down and you're balancing. You're way up high. And come back up and then release your arms. So walk to the front of your mat if you're not already. Bring the feet straight on. Hands to heart center, and just pause in Tadasana for a brief moment. Let your eyes close so you can turn more inward. Just feel your breath. And awareness to your posture. Feel the soles of your feet, and a tiny bend in your knees. Take the tops of your thighs back, your pelvis moves back, and then engage your abdomen and lengthen up through your spine, all the way up the back of your neck to the top of your head. Inhale, stretch the arms up, little gentle back bend, and exhale, take your time, fold forward, releasing down. Bring the fingers right on your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Please step your right leg back and pause. I'm going to go into a twist here with your left arm. So lift the left arm up. Draw the left hip back a little and feel the feet and legs hugging inward. Now try to make a lumbar curve in your low back. Try to stick your bottom up slightly. Good. And lower down to the floor. We're going to lift up now, walk up your front leg and come up to an upright position, crescent legs. And then do your best to bring awareness, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Put a tiny bend in your back knee, little bouncy, little bit of cushion here. And then we did this earlier, take the arms forward, cross and hold the elbows, and then lift the arms up. So 3 things here with the upper body. Press your elbows up, pull the elbows apart, and the 3rd thing is pull the ribs back into the body. Then explore, what if you bend your back knee an inch or 2 more? Lean back with your upper body a little. What if you bend the back leg an inch or 2 more? Lean the upper body back slightly. What if you bent your leg a little bit more? Not touching the floor though. And then slowly rise. Come on down. Good job. Touch the mat. Stepping back to the good old dog. We're going to jog your dog tonight. So take it for a jog. Let your legs move more quickly here. Just roll through them like you're out running. Just jogging your dog back and forth. And once you get the movement, you get a nice pace going here, start to focus on your hips. Push, whenever your right leg is straight, push the right hip back a little more, left hip back. A little more awareness in the hippage. Hip, hip, hooray. And from here, stop your jogging, come forward to a plank pose and hold in plank. Push the floor away, push down so that you stay drawing up and integrated in the abdomen. Take a deep breath in, inflate your lungs, and exhale. See about a slow ride down. Inhale through as you lift to cobra, shoulders back, drag the hands back. Exhale, breathe it out and release on down. Push back, downward facing dog, y'all. All the way back. Jog your dog so get a little more rhythmic. Now, I wish we had some good music on. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe you have some on at home. I just have music in my head. Music always brings such joy out in us. And now let's pause and step the right leg forward. Right arm to the ceiling. Here we go in that twist. And we're going to encourage this front hip to pull back. And then right down here in your lumbar, see if you can tilt your tail up or attempt to. See how that might give you an extra nugget of sensation. And turning to open. Nice and expansive with your arms. Come down, touch down for a moment. Establish your back foot. Sometimes I like to move mine to the left for a little wider base and then come upright. Take our time. Head between the shoulders, shoulders over hips. Bend the back knee slightly and then arms reach forward. Certainly can make up any arms you want here. Just putting these out there tonight. Hold your elbows, lift on up. And then push the elbows up, try to pull them apart, and then see if you can draw on more connection through your core. The ribs knit back into the body. And then lower the back knee another inch and arch back slightly. Lower another inch or 2 and arch back, but keep your ribs drawing back the best you can. Lower one more time, arch back. Holding 4, 3, 2, 1, open and release. Step forward. That was mighty fine. Pause. In forward bend. Knees can be bent or straight. Let the head intentionally release. Receive breath filling it into your back lungs, back ribs. And then Place the hands on your hips, glide your shoulders up, throat back, and slowly come up to standing position. All right, my friends, please locate your belt again. If you don't have a belt, I'll show you how to do it with just your hands. You'll figure it out, pretty simple. The belt just gives us an opportunity to feel things a little differently and explore different ranges. So you certainly can do this all. So if you don't have a belt, you're just going to hold the back of your right leg with your hands interlaced. If you do have the belt, put the right foot in it, hold a wall if you need to, and then just pause right here. I'm just holding with both hands right in front of my knee on the belt, but you also could put your hand under your leg. So bend your standing knee a fraction and stick your butt back a little, and then lengthen up through your spine. Now you can stay here, or take your left arm out to the side and open your right leg to the side. Now I'm going to turn around and find you. Hope I can keep it together here. So you're just opening out to the side. I'm pushing my foot down into the belt, but at the same time I'm pulling my arm up. Good, you can stay there or start to straighten the leg a little, or a little more, or a little more, you choose. And just push out, my belt's sliding, push out with your leg as much as you pull back with your arm, and use the other arm's counterbalance as well. And then put some attitude with it, like, oh, there's gotta be something I can celebrate tonight. Yes, 2020 is coming to an end. My God, didn't know that we'd make it. I hope 2021 is a little better. And release. Let's explore the second side. How about that? Gotta readjust my belt. So either hold the back of the leg or place the belt. And just pause here. Find a little bit of steadiness, or notice that you're really wobbly tonight, and that's okay. Bend your standing knee, take your thighs and buttocks back a little, tone your abdomen, lengthen up through your spine. And then you can take the right arm out, left leg to the side. That's it. So hold here. And then you can explore, what if I straighten a little more? Maybe this is your stopping point. What if I go a little further? Pulling back with your arm while you're pressing strongly out through your leg. Yep, you can see how I'm wobbling, so I have to back out of the pose a little. Regroup. Maybe you're doing the regrouping too. And then really shine it on out. That's it, kids. Woo! You can celebrate that you're here tonight, that you're doing yoga, that you have a healthy body moving. Good, and then release. Oh. And then shake it on out. Shake and bake. Remember that commercial? It's shake and bake, and I helped. Maybe you don't remember that, but I do. All right, kids, let's come to a wide leg position. Not super wide, medium wide, and turn both feet out. Let's get a little more heat pumping through the body here. And so come down to a bent position. Yeah. And hold right here. I'm pressing down firmly on my legs, pressing down into the thighs. And then I'm leaning forward right now, but see if you can come back a little bit and then bring your arms in cactus pose. From here, engage your abdomen and lengthen up through your spine, and then lean to your right. Lean to your right, like your elbows going down to maybe touch your bottom thigh, maybe not. Good, and come back to center, and then lean over to the opposite side. Really take this top arm back and come back to center. Okay, so now we're gonna transfer weight. Let's turn your feet a little straighter, a little more forward. We're gonna transfer weight over and balance on this left side. So bring your leg out to the side like it just was. You can stay right here, or you can slowly lean to the right, maybe elbow to knee. On purpose, we're knocking you off center a little bit. Come back center. Stretch your arms up, bring your leg in front, hold here, and then release it all down at the same time. Awesome, step back out, little bend. Arms come to cactus, shift the weight over, lift the left leg. Slowly open it to the side, And regain your composure if you're losing it. Lean to the left. Elbow towards knee. Good job. Come back to center. Bring the leg in front of you. Extend the arms up. Really reach high. And then arms come down. Leg comes down. Fabulous. Let's come back to the front of the mat. Hands to heart center. And just take a moment. Close the eyes and remember Sat Chitananda. Sat Chitananda means joy is our birthright. It's innately in each of us. Doesn't mean that we're always going to be happy and joyful, but we have to remember that that capacity is always there. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down and swing them behind you. Inhale, swing forward and up, arch back. Exhale, dive forward, come down, Uttanasana. Inhale, forward, half lift. Exhale, bow. Step the right leg back, please. So come up right here, walk up your front leg. And now this time around, we're gonna give this back hip and leg some love with some internal, external rotation. We're gonna be spinning on this back foot, really slow movements here. So you might find yourself wobbly, that's a good thing. You'll build strength. So a tiny micro bend in the back knee, okay? That allows you to get a little more lumbar curve. So a little baby bend helps you stick it out a little. Engage your abdomen. So now what you're gonna do is just put your hands, bring both of your hands over here on the left side, one on your left hip, one on your thigh, and then squeeze your feet and legs towards one another for stability and start to turn your torso. But what you're focusing on here is that the back leg is internally rotating. It's very subtle, but that's what we're after, that sense of it internally rotating. There's a tone through the belly, those legs are super strong. Hug it in, and then we're gonna slowly unwind, just undo the twist really slow. Put your attention in your back foot. Drop it down like warrior two and feel the leg externally rotate. Yeah, hold here in warrior two, arms come out, and let's add a reverse warrior. But sweep the bottom arm across and push in opposite directions. Cartwheel right on down to the mat. No rush. Step back plank. Exhale it down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale it down. Push back, downward facing dog. And this time, instead of jogging the dog, we're gonna let him bounce on the trampoline. So bend your knees deeply and do little baby quick bounces. Try to shake out, feel the jiggle and the wiggle in your low back perhaps, or wherever you're feeling it, just shake, shake, shake it. And then lower your knees down to child's pose. Knees down, toes touch. Sit on back, my friends, sit on back. Let your head take a rest on your hands and feel the aliveness inside of you. Feel that you are here, you're living, you're in the living room of life. And you might be feeling the joy this year. You might be feeling full of joy right now. And then it's your duty, your responsibility to go spread that to others, to remind them that their joy is still in them. And if you're not feeling the joy, that's okay. It's your responsibility to allow others to share their light with you. It's your responsibility to receive and know that your joy will come back. Lift on up, downward facing dog. And let's step the right leg forward. Establish strong legs as you come up. Squeeze feet and shins in. Bend the back knee a little, create a lumbar curve. Stick your butt out. Engage your abdomen, and then you're just going to start to turn, but I want you to think about the back leg rotating. It's just subtly trying to inward rotate. So healthy hips need to have a good internal, good external rotation. It's usually easier for us to externally rotate. So we're just twisting, holding steady with those strong legs of yours. Now we're going to take our time, come back to center with your gaze, and then drop the back heel down for warrior two. Externally rotating now. Extend the arms on out. Reverse warrior, sweeping the bottom arm across, reaching in opposite directions with the hands now. Breathing in, breathing out. Come back to center, all the way down to the mat, and step back to downward facing dog. Bring yourself forward once again to plank, and then lower down to the floor, and pause here. Coming up onto your forearms, take your right leg and bring it out to the side for mountain climber. So I'm going to show you this action upright on my elbows here, but I find that it's a little more comfortable if you come down and put your forehead on your hands. So just know that you can try both. So you're going to flex your right foot. Again, we're focusing on the hip here, internal rotation here. So you may lift your foot high, it may be just a tiny bit. Just notice where you are. Be happy with that you're here. So you're going to lift the right foot up, so you're internally rotating the leg, and then tap it back down. And just keep doing that. You might try a couple up here on your forearms, and then you might say, what does it feel like if I drop down? Do I get a little more range of motion? Maybe. And then come back down, maybe not. Keep lifting, rotating in. This may not be super comfortable. It may be very challenging. We're all at different places. So remember, work at your own speed limit. Let's do 2 more. Lift the heel, lower down, lift the whole foot, I should say, not just the heel, and down. Awesome. And then lift up onto your forearms. Hold here for a second and draw your elbows back and stretch long through your spine. Now from here, take the right leg and bring it down beside the left, and we'll come into a quad stretch. So you can fold the leg up and reach back, stay here on your stomach, or if it's a little more accessible, come onto your side and then bring the leg back. Okay, so either way, you find the custom pose for you. Draw your awareness inward to your breath. Notice if your knees have widened way apart, bring them a little bit closer. And then right on your right frontal hip bone, that area, press it towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch, but just drop it down towards the floor a little more. Whew, that enlivens things a bit. And then release. And let's do the second side. I'm going to spin around here. So mountain climber, left leg. So you have the foot flexed. And based upon what felt right for you on the first side, you might stay up on your elbows, you might go down. Let's start to lift, rotate, and bring it down. Rotate, and bring it down. I always feel like these little exercises are not glamorous. They're not super exciting. They're not even super fun, but they're really necessary. So we slide them in here. Rotate. We need healthy hips. They need to be free and mobile, but they also need to be strong and stable. Lift. Lift. Let's do 2 more. Lift. And lift. job. Sphinx pose, keep your leg there and just draw your elbows back. Elongate your spine. Maybe you're feeling a stretch in the abdomen, maybe not. And then we'll come into a quad stretch. So bring your left leg down right beside your right. And if it worked better for you to roll onto your side to grab your foot, do that. And you can stay on the side or rotate. Really press your right elbow and forearm down into the mat. Like say no to the mat. No to anyone who wants to steal your joy. And then as you draw the left heel close to your bottom, steer the left frontal hip bone down towards the floor more. Notice if your breath is being strangled. Let it release. Breathe deeper. Are you feeling something, my friends? I think so. I hope so. And let your leg release. Ta-da. Now from here, bring your hands by your chest. Push up to your knees into all fours position. Might have to bring your knees forward a little. And then let's step your left leg out to the side. And you're going to turn your toes to face straight out. Walk your hands back and come up in this position. So I'm going to turn sideways. This is what you look like here. Like this, yeah. And then press this heel down and attempt to draw it back. So you have this action of pulling your heel back. Keep that pulling action back as you lunge a little deeper. So the heel is dragging back. You're lunging. And then we're going to gracefully unfold into a gate pose. So open, come onto your heel, reach over, fingers to the floor, and just really enjoy this. Take it a slow, delicious unfolding. Breathe and open. Lean back. It's a good day for a good day. Circle the arm around and come up. And then let's do the opposite side. So you started on all fours. You're going to bring your right leg out to the side. I'm going to spin for purposes of viewing and come up. And then from here, the action of pressing the heel down and dragging it back is what we're after. Keep firmly, consistently drawing the heel back as you lunge. And now we push and pop the leg to straight on the heel. Reach down, stretch the top arm over, and lean on back. And then inhale, rise, and come on up. So we're going to move into the outer hip region now. And we'll have a block out in front of you here. You may or may not want to use it, but it's there. Moving into a little series with pigeon in it. So you can start through a downward dog. And then just, if you feel like lifting your left leg up, if you want a little extra, get a run for it. Lift your left leg, flex your foot, and then bring it on forward, over towards your left wrist. And then park the back knee and stop right there. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, curl the back toes under, push down through the toes, and move the right knee back a fraction. And then if there's room to go again, just move the right knee back a little further. And now from here, come onto your fingertips. Hug your back inner heel towards the middle of your mat. You're going to go to that internal rotation again here. So you're going to turn to your left, just like we did in crescent legs. And feel this right frontal hip bone attempting to turn inward. Back heel is staying steady. It's not flopping to the right. Keep it anchored. Good. And then as you come back to center, you can come down onto your elbows. Perhaps put a block under your forehead if you want some support for your head. let your awareness take a seat in your breath. We naturally feel better. We feel lighter, perhaps a little happier, more joyful once our bodies are opened. The practice always has a magical way of doing that. From here, two options. Both of them will require lifting up. So you can lift up here. I want you to all press your back knee down and drag it forward so your pelvis lifts pretty high. And then you might stay here and use blocks and keep dragging back in. You could bend the back leg just simply here and keep dragging in, or you could reach around and find the foot. Ooh, and remember to go to a place where you can still breathe. If you're holding your breath, it's not a fun time. Good, and now from here, everyone release the back leg, blocks move out of the way. Sit over on your left bum and just keep your legs at this zigzag. So they're in a zigzag pose. So this is a little more relaxing, passive. Bring your hands out, open your elbows here like funky cobra, and then just lengthen really long with your spine as you let your chest dip down, let the head bow. Deep breath in, full breath out. And then slowly rise, come on up, and pause here for a second. I'm going to do a gentle twist to your right. So just take the hand over, baby twist here, just a little twist. I was feeling kind of sorry for myself this last week, not in the Christmas spirit at all. We don't have one Christmas thing up in our house. I'm not going to be with our family. I was kind of like, oh, poor me, pity party. And not feeling the joy bomb. And then I had a memory I read in my journal of a dear friend of mine who had cancer. And I remember having a conversation with her, come back to center, and we'll move back to down dog. I had this conversation with her when she was going through the midst of it. And I was having a bad day. We were talking about that. And I said to her, I'm like, how are you doing? What do you do on your bad days? How do you get through? And she just looked me in the eye. Let's lift your right leg on up, lift up and take it forward to pigeon. She looked me in the eye and she said, Marsha, I don't have time for bad days. I don't have any days to give to a bad day. And I kind of just went, ooh, really? It doesn't mean we have to be all Pollyanna every day, but there are good days, I guess I reframed, and then there are challenging days, but I'm not using the bad day word anymore. I don't want to have time for bad days. So I had to give myself a little talking to, reframe. Let's twist to your right here, hug the back leg in. And then I went downstairs and got a Christmas wreath and put it up. I'm like, I guess I can make an effort. Guess I can make an effort to shift out of the cesspool of my own pity. Oh, come back to center. And now from here, I'm going to extend and come forward. Block could be there if you want. I like to put a block under my forehead here. It just feels good to have support for my heavy noggin. Breathe into your back waistline. What choices might we need to make to guide us to our ananda, to our bliss, to our happiness, to our joy? What might be blocking us? In my case, it was just my mindset was stuck. It's easy to do nowadays. It's easy to get stuck there. Come upright And here's where you might use your 2 blocks to give you some support. Press the back knee down, drag it forward, pelvis lifts up. And then if you want to bend the leg, this is an interesting position to hold, where you can reach around, give yourself a little extra, extra zing. Go ahead and release your back foot. You're going to sit over onto your right bum into a zigzag position, and then bring your arms out wide. Grow tall through your spine and just stretch forward. Maybe you lean just a little bit. Just see where your body says stop. Deep breath. Lifting as you're ready, lift back up. A little twist to your left, just a little baby twist here. Turn and look away. And then come back to center. Swing your legs around so that they're both out in front of you. Come onto your seat. When you arrive here, let's take your, let me think about this, right foot, come onto the heel, okay? Heel of the right foot, and then bring your hands behind you. You're going to cross your left ankle on top, so make an X here, and roll your shoulders back. And then dig your bottom heel into the mat and lift your pelvis up a little bit. Just lift, so you're drawing your right heel back, putting the emphasis on the right leg, right hamstring, and then come back down. Switch to the other side, left heel down, cross the ankle over, and there's a pressing together here. Lift the pelvis, maybe it's just a tad, but try to drag your left heel back as you lift on up. My fingertips are back, by the way, going backwards. And then come back down slowly. And now take one block, place it under your right thigh here on your hamstring. You're going to be pressing the hamstring into the block and pulling the block up into the belly of the hamstring. So place it here, sit tall, and your leg doesn't have to go high, just try to go straight. So you're going to press the block or the leg into the block and pull the block back into the hamstring. So just smush your hamstring muscle right on down there like you're ironing it with the block. Good. And then point your foot and flex it as you do that. Point and flex. Awesome. And then switch sides. So bring the block under your left leg. Just giving it a good massage here. Push the muscle right up against the bone and then extend. Again, it doesn't have to be up here. That's going to cause your back to round. So just go more out in front of you. Lift up through your spine and really pull the block into the leg and vice versa. Flex and point. We're coming to the happy place of Shavasana here shortly. And then release that on down. Take the blocks out of the way. Let's come to your back here. Hold your caps, your kneecaps, and just bring the legs towards your chest as you lay your head down. And your feet are heavy. They're just kind of dangling down there. And you're pressing your hands down into your kneecaps, and you're feeling the sacrum, the low part of your back, really heavy into the mat. And just a gentle, subtle rock side to side. Oh, so gentle. Your legs might be trembling. You might be feeling some good energy move through there. Mine are vibrating. They're like, whoa, what did you just do to me? And then place your feet on the ground. Let your hands come to rest on your low belly. And put a little pocket of space under your low back. And then take a moment to really, really let the floor support you. Like fall into the floor with your awareness, with your shoulders, your shoulder blades. Anything that's touching the floor, know that it is 100% supported and held. I don't know about you, but in my life, whenever I feel anyone supporting me, anything supporting me, a chair, a bed, I can always let go way deeper. So feel that support. Give over control. Let yourself be held. See if it's possible to keep the pocket of space under your low back as you slide one leg straight and then the other leg, keeping that nice space under your low back. And the hands, arms can go where you feel most comfortable. Maybe they come out to the side and rotate upward with the palms. Maybe you like them on your stomach. Just find a resting place. Teeth, your teeth. Let your teeth move away from one another, upper and lower teeth. Let them part. The only time the teeth should really be touching is when you're chewing. Otherwise, if they're touching, there's an unnecessary clenching happening somewhere in the jaw. So as the teeth part, feel the openness in the back of your throat. Slightly lift your chin, feeling a nice archway in the back of your neck. Hands, feel your hands. If they're feeling like they're gripping or tense, fold them into a fist and squeeze them firmly. And then consciously let them unfold. Really soft. Fingers are softly curled. Ever so slightly, if it's needed, press into the back of your head and lift your chest and draw your shoulder blades under you. Feel more support there. Notice in the region of your pelvis and your low back, what's touching the floor? What is being held? Release it into the floor. Feel your calf muscles in your lower leg. Just spreading out on the mat like jello. Feel your heels. Feel the support. Let go into that support. Notice how the breath is effortless, how it just shows up and goes away. content with the stillness. Soft face, soft hands. Teeth still slightly parted. Remaining still, ever so slightly, slowly. Just feel the back of your head pressing into the mat as you let your head fall to the right. So it's just turning your head to the right, rolling onto the side of your head slightly, to wherever your neck will allow you to go without force. And be aware of the sensation, connection on the back of your head. As you lift the head up, feel it pressing into the mat, like massaging the back of your skull. As you roll it slowly up and all the way over to your left. Feel the head press into the floor as you come back up to center position. And then starting to move through your fingers, your toes. Maybe circle your wrists a little bit, circle your ankles. Maybe take a big old yawn or stretch your arms. And eventually we bring our knees on in. Hug them to the chest. Roll to your right. No rush. Press yourself up. Find the necessary props for a comfortable seat. Excuse me. And here we are, right back where we started. So let's take a moment to bring some closure to this practice tonight and to perhaps the last practice we do together this year. So let your eyes draw closed. Let your teeth again be just slightly apart. It helps to put your tongue against the back of your front teeth, just lightly there. And then join the hands in front of the heart center. Let the head bow. Please remember, I want you to remember that we all have this amazing capacity inside of us, inside of our hearts, for ananda, for joy, for bliss. And that capacity is very large and it's always there. There's a steadiness. But also know that there are times when we have a tidal wave of challenges and we feel like joy will never return. But no, it has never really left. It's just tucked away for a while. We can slowly blow the dust off and bring it back to the surface. And that's what these practices are for, to remind us again and again of our joy, our innate goodness, our ability to make a difference in the world with our unique gifts. So vow to yourself, honor yourself for your commitment, your dedication to your practice. Another year. I honor that light that burns bright in each of you. Namaste. So much love to you all. Thank you so, so much for riding this wave with me this year. It's been quite a tidal wave. And celebrate in some way. We've all grown from this year in some capacity. And I think that we really need to take time and reflect on how has this year made me a better person? What have I learned? How have I grown? Give ourselves a big old pat on the back in some ways. So please take some time to reflect on that as we move towards our new year. I hope that I'll see you maybe in a holiday class next week. There's one on Tuesday, one on Saturday. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks so much. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Hope it's safe and healthy for you all. And I look forward to seeing you again next year. And I'm working on a whole new business model, and hopefully we'll be giving birth to that sometime in March, I hope. But be on the lookout for some news coming your way. Oh, thanks, Laura. Nice to have you back. Yeah, there's something about being in a live class. It's not quite the same as the replay, but the replay is better than not at all, right? So yeah, there's a good energy you can feel with each person. Oh, good, Julie. I'll see you in both holiday classes. Yay. Zach, nice to have you tonight. Thanks for being here. Nadina, lovely to see you. Love to see your name. Thanks for being here this evening. Have a great holiday. Oh, you'll see me Tuesday. Awesome. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. Kristen, I'll see you Tuesday also. Yes, it's going to be, get your little space all set up, get your candles. You're going to be receiving an email with more details about it. I'm excited to create a nice ritual. Oh, Trace, thanks for being here tonight. It was awesome talking to you today too. The Northern Lights are tonight? Okay. I wonder if I can see them since we have no trees blocking the way. All right. Bye, JD. See ya. Have a good one, everyone. Signing off.